Good morning. Good morning, Babi Actif. Good morning, everyone. Good morning if you're watching on replay. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch us on replay in your own time. That's what these videos are for. This is the 6-week to 6-month postnatal session here on the Babi Actif page. Again, if you're watching on the website, thank you so much for having a little nosy here. And if you're watching on YouTube, maybe you can like the video as well. Let us know what you think. My name's Natasha. Just finishing off setting up my space here, making sure I've got everything I need. I'm also just going to check over on the laptop, make sure that we've got what we need here. So you'll need a chair today. You'll need a chair today. Always looks a bit wonky when I watch it on the screen here. Let's move that. Let's move that out of the way. Any better? Good morning if you're watching. I'm just getting set up. It's time for you to get set up. This is a live workout. It's about 50 minutes long. I talk to you as we're going through the workout. We connect to the breathing. We realign our posture. We get gently energised. This is for people returning to exercise after the birth of their baby, 6 weeks after a vaginal delivery or 12 weeks after a caesarean section. If you're just looking for a gentler workout, this is where we're going to be this morning. Of course, if you're further along in your postnatal recovery, then you can add some dumbbells to put that extra level of effort through your body as you require. So grab yourself a set of dumbbells, grab yourself a long scarf, grab yourself a cushion or a soft ball, have a drink ready, and I'm going to use a chair this morning. So I'm trying to get this little bit of a sofa view out. And I've got a bit of a better view there. I hope you can see me there clearly. Always looks different on the camera when you're looking at it live. Always looks a bit wonky, but there you go, hey ho. I'm not wonky. I feel quite good. I hope you're feeling good this morning. I'm going to start you off with just a little bit of standing work, just to coordinate our mind and our body. So make sure you've got a lot of space around with you, and please don't join in today if you're not feeling 100% well, of course. So you can see I've got bare feet today. You can train as you wish. I'd encourage you to go at your own pace, as always. If you've been following me from the beginning and you're right at the end of that 6 months now, you can enjoy this workout with a little bit more confidence, having revised some of the movements already, some of the patterns that we move with as mums. So in particular, bending and extending, reaching, squatting, and going down to the floor comfortably. So let's get ourselves set up for today. Once again, I hope you can hear me and see me clearly. You can always give me a thumbs up. Say hi, don't be shy, this is Facebook Live. It's what it's all about, that interaction. So don't be shy, just give me a little wave, or if you're coming back and watching on replay, just give me a little heart, or give me a little thumbs up. Hearts are more valuable than algorithms on Facebook apparently, so they get better recognition in the world of Facebook. So comment, let me know if you like this workout, or if there's something that you want me to repeat. Alright, so just bring yourself standing tall. Just have a little look down at your feet today. I've been doing lots and lots of study on our feet and the receptivity of our feet, and how that relates to the knees, the ankles, the knees, the hips, and the spine. So there's lots of things we can do to actually improve the way our body works, but just by actually moving the feet a little bit every day. So see if you can just lift your toes up today. Just see if you can lift your toes up off the floor, all of them, and see if you can maintain that position, that tall position. Feel the back of your heels planted on the floor, and see if you can sort of coordinate, just for fun, spreading out your fingers and your toes at the same time. Just for fun, see what happens. Can you feel any parts of your body working with you or against you to do this? You ever seen a drummer playing the drums and they've got pulling a funny face? I imagine that's what you're doing now, trying to work out how to lift all the toes up off the floor. Shouldn't be painful, should be pain-free. And we'll just have a little bit more fun with that. So we're just grounding ourselves here, really coming into our bodies, really arriving here on the mat this morning. Just for fun, if you can bring your big toe up. So that's kind of like a thumbs up on your feet. See if you can do a thumbs up on your thumbs and then a thumbs up with your big toes. And just put them down again. And let's see if you can do it without looking. So maybe one at a time. I'm going to check that I've done that. And then I'm going to lift it up and then check. I'm going to do that one more time. So I'm going to lift up my big toe and check. So the other fingers are coming down. That one's coming up. And then on the left, going to do it one more time. It's not tricky on the left. Well done. And then we'll just start to rock forwards and back. I hope you found that quite fun. It's going to make your calf muscles, all the muscles throughout your body have to do a little bit of concentrating, which is what we want. Reminding our bodies how they move. I'm shifting my weight forward and back, so just reach up as you shift forward and push your arms back as you stand tall. So feel that you haven't taken your heels off the floor, you're bracing your body here. And then push your arms back. And really push the arms back and to feel the tricep working here. We've become very, very busy as mums. There's so much busyness can really kind of take our thoughts away from how we move, how we breathe. If you've never done yoga or Pilates or meditation before, that slowing down can be quite hard. That becoming more focused on yourself, that inward focus, it can be a little bit of a challenge to start with, but the more we practice moving mindfully, the more we practice enabling our breath to support us through our stressful moments, through our restful moments, the more these skills become everyday life for us, helping to reduce your stress. The stresses that life bring us are going to be there forever. So the more we can tune ourselves into our breath, into our movement, the better we are in the long term at managing our own mental health. I'm going to do one more. I'm really going to just focus on putting my pinky back to kind of where the skirting boards are in my room. I'm just going to hold it there. Drop my shoulders down, drop my shoulders down, down, down. So I really have let go of the tension in my shoulders. I can really feel that I've lifted up here. And then rise up. This time keep your hands up here and take one shoulder out the socket and then plug it back in. Same again, out and then plug it back in, out and then plug it back in. Just notice where your body's pulling and tugging. This feels quite strong, just take it up this way. Otherwise keep your hands in the air. We'll do one more each side with a single and then we'll do doubles. So just lifting and releasing the shoulders. So take them both up and down. If you're here, it won't be here, won't it? Here and down, here and down. One more, here and down. Lots of thoughtful movements. Spread those fingers wide as your arms are coming down to the side. Drop your shoulders back into the sockets and then roll. Just ease out any tension there. Take the time to give yourself that little bit of movement. Maybe talk to baby. Talk to baby. Tell baby what you're doing. Maybe baby's sleeping. This is your time on the mat, so enjoy this movement. I'm going to slow that down, do 2 more shoulder rolls. Up, back, down and around. Just bringing your posture into its best position. Really noticing that I've spent a lot more on the screen in the last 4 months than I have done in probably about 10 years. That's probably an exaggeration, maybe about 5 years. I don't watch a lot of television. We don't have a television viewing, so it's Netflix. So I'm beginning to really notice that sagging here. So here is where I want to be, and here is where I want to walk around in my day to really support my skeleton. So let's just touch on that posture for ourselves. Let's just relax our posture, breastfeeding posture, reading in bed, maybe slumping. And then just rise up really slowly and see if you can just notice that you've got that potential there. Where's your potential to come back? And then have a look at the shoulders, they're still rounded, so I can take them up, back, down and around. And it does feel a little bit uncomfortable if you stay here for too long. This will present you with another kind of fatigue because we're not used to holding our muscles across the skeleton in this way. But if you can just present that when you pick baby up, when you first pick baby up, you'll just remember, your muscles will have their muscle memory and they'll revise this position. You'll become more aware of when you're sitting up and when you're really slouched down. And what we're trying to do is counterpose that, trying to present ourselves with a little bit more opportunity to sit up when we can, just at the edge of the chair or at the table, more often throughout our day, and that will help build up strength in your upper body. I'm going to get a chair. Just done a little bit of a posture check. You can see my chair, done a little bit of posture check this morning so far. Opened up that area for you on your chest. The chair, kitchen chair will do. And what we're going to do, have a quick drink here. Is we're going to grab a cushion. Grab a cushion and then just take a seat on the chair. We're going to hold the cushion. And we're just going to bring our feet behind our knees. Just stand up. And then we'll do some little concentration on your pelvic floor here. This move is one of the most uncomfortable moves after having a baby. Would you agree? So that very first time going to the toilet, coming home and then using the toilet at home for the first time, or going to a public place and using the toilet for the first time. Think about how that is at that very early stage. And what I want you to do is just take this opportunity here to just connect with the pelvic floor. So what I'm going to do is try and keep the length of my body really long here. So this is a little bit of pelvic floor revision for those who want it. And what I want you to do is just try and relax your pelvic floor now so it's completely relaxed. And you can kind of feel that you're softening into the seat of the chair. My back's away from the edge of the chair, by the way. So I'm sitting up quite reasonably tall. Let your pelvic floor drop. And then as you stand up, try and engage it. So feel as if you're peeling away from the chair, that you're peeling away and up into your pelvic floor. And then as you sit down, try and release it. And try not to look at where you're going. So I'm trying to remember where the seat is. So shifting my weight through those toes again, through the heels, engaging up. And then push my hips gently forward and then just release the pelvic floor on the way down. I'm going to do this one more time. I've still got my cushion with me. I'm going to maybe hold it a bit higher here, away from my body, so use my upper body muscles. Take it up, pelvic floor, just notice where you're pulling and tugging naturally to support that. Fabulous. What we're going to do is come back down, put this in between our knees now, easy peasy. Squeezing in the adductors. So what I'm going to do is offer you, if you're further along in your postnatal stage, do you want to have some hand weights here? Because I'm going to use my arms as I squeeze, I'm going to lateral raise. So I'm squeezing the cushion. And I'm not using the Pilates breath yet, but I am very conscious that I still have to breathe. So I want you to decide whether or not you want to take the dumbbells with you on this, if you need that, if you feel like you would benefit from having the extra weight in your hand, which of course is going to work on your shoulders, a small muscle group, and they really support the chest and the neck and the upper back. Or did you want to just stay with thin air? And what I'm going to do is focus on the exhale and focus on breathing in and not blowing up the tummy muscles in the same time. So I've got a little bit of a dumbbell, got some dumbbells here. Grab yours, have a seat, let's sit up tall, and then think about breathing in and trying to breathe into the sides of our body. So not breathing in the top area of our chest, but letting the air expand into the rib cage. And if you're used to doing a belly breath in yoga or relaxation techniques, we're focusing on that intra-abdominal pressure expanding through the rib cage and then coming out as we lift. Okay, so we'll just do 8, and if you want to integrate the squeeze because you're further along in your postnatal stage, if you're a complete beginner today, just returning after having a baby, you won't need any dumbbells at all. You'll just be focusing on the squeezing and lifting your arms to the side if it feels good. So if we just do 8, roll the shoulders, let's see how we go. Trying to coordinate that squeeze, here we go. So breathing in. Lengthen that neck, drop those shoulders. Just try and do this without any sound. Try and exhale without any sound. So all the sound is focused on the breath, making the breath stronger, fuller. Drop those shoulders. I think I'm going to do 4 more. Working on the adductors, muscles on the inner thigh, connects deeply into your pelvic floor. So we're really having some fun here working on those muscles. 2 more. Gently grip your dumbbells if you're using them. Excellent. And then just curl. If you haven't got any dumbbells in your hands, just curl that thin air. And practice that sitting up tall. Practice letting the pelvic floor, see if you can relax it. And then see if you can switch it on with the 2 arms. So see if you can maintain pelvic floor contraction here. Just lift those arms up and down. Notice where you're breathing now without instruction. 4 more. Big smiles. Then do an extra. Do 1 more. Lovely. Let's drop those weights down. Excellent. So if you haven't got weights, just bring yourself back here. Hold on to the cushion for this one. Just turn the chair to the side so you can see me. Make sure you can see me and hear me clearly on the tablet, of course. If you've got a better view of me by turning the phone up to portrait or your device up to portrait, that might help. So I think you can still see me with my chair. Don't forget to say hi if you're watching this morning, give me a little wave. All right, tapping up, all right? So, now, I've got this cushion here and it's stopping me seeing where my feet are going, okay? So this is me working just to coordinate my mind to my body a little bit more. We have this system in our body that tells us where we are in space. And I like to think of it as like antennae. So, but sensing our space around us, it's called proprioception. And so as you're doing this, you're really having to use that. And of course, as mums, when we're really tired, we're often off balance. And we're often moving around, fumbling around in the dark, shushing baby, you know, awake through the night. And that in itself can be quite wearing, it is quite tiring, and we lose our coordination as well. And now we have baby with us, as opposed to being pregnant, our bodies have to find their way back to working out information. Now we're carrying baby, so your body shifts and aligns itself throughout the pregnancy, all throughout the day. Because baby's turning, so it changes your balance position all throughout the day and through the night, of course, wherever you might be lying down. And then what we're trying to do is just bring our body to coordinate with our movement automatically. So giving it those kind of systems, so like blow away cobwebs in those nervous systems, so that they can find their pathways back to helping us be more coordinated. So I hope that makes sense. Roll the shoulders again, and then if you want to, take out your cushion at the same time. So you don't have to put your whole foot onto the step or to your chair, but if you want to work harder, put your whole foot on there, okay, and then take your arm out. So we're doing 10. And as you can see, I'm really trying to focus on almost like a ballerina posture. So I've got my chest lifted, I'm really tall here, and I'm trying not to look at the chair. Use the arms if you want to. You could, of course, use a dumbbell. And really focused on consciously placing that foot down, standing up as tall as I can. Please stop if this feels uncomfortable, particularly if you've got just feeling a bit sore underneath. You can just lift your knee. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 more with the knee lift. That might feel more comfortable, especially if it's your first time today, or feel more comfortable. So I'm going to do 2 more each side, shifting that weight, working on my balance, working on my posture, lengthening through the spine, keeping that spine up. Well done. Back into the chair. This time I'm going to throw the cushion, okay, and we're going to activate pelvic floor on that lift. Okay, we'll do 10. So here we go. 10, 9, mind your chandelier. 7, you can throw a lot higher if you've got space. 6, I haven't got much space. Chandelier. You can also throw something a little heavier, like a sandbag. If you're watching this again on replay and you're past your very early stage, postnatal 4th trimester, you can move on. I'm going to do 2 more. Playing into the pelvic floor there, well done. Alright, so you've done a few different movements, a few mum movements to get you coordinated, focused on your breath, focused on connecting to pelvic floor muscles, and hopefully you've switched on some of your muscles in your upper body and your posture again. I'm just looking at my notes, and one of the favourite movements is the bend to extend pattern. So you don't need a cushion for this one, but there are many ways to do the bend to extend pattern. So what I'm going to do is get close to the chair. If you have the cushion with you, it can guide you to keeping that framework on top. So if you place something onto your chest which is heavier, as you would have been pregnant, you would have been in the same position. It can pull you forward. So that's a progression. That's something you can do when you're feeling a lot fitter. So for now, let's just think about how our feet are here, and then if you use the cushion with me, just slide the cushion onto the chair and then pick it up. And just notice this framework on top. Okay, so bend, slide the cushion, and I'm going to show you that without the cushion. Okay, so I'm going to show you, just reach to the chair and then stand up, keeping that framework in. So this option is one I practiced this morning to get ready for you guys. So for those who are working a little bit harder here, they can come up onto their toes. And again, we're really trying to keep that spine long throughout the movement. Should we have a go? Do you want to have a go at that? So look at the way your body's moving. Feel the way your body's moving with the mind's eye. Feel how long your spine can be. And flow with the breath. All right? So let's just do 10. I'm going to do the standing up on my toes version, okay? That's more advanced. If you're wobbly, just enjoy the movement. Practice giving yourself this bend here with the knees and just allowing your back to do some work there instead of coming into here. You'll feel the difference when you get there. Okay, so let's have a go. I'm going to stand on my toes first, align my posture. This is 1. Really focused on the ball of my feet, shoulders in their place. You could breathe out where you feel you need to support yourself. So play around with the breath. And notice if your body's trying to run ahead with the exercise, or your mind saying, let's get quicker, let's do these quicker. So in the sessions, just working with trying to bring you back into the senses in your body and slow you down. Often what you need is that inwards focus. We can still get fit and feel energized. So I'm going to do 4 more. Stop if you've had enough. Try the outside of the chair. See what your chair space allows you. See where your chair goes. Try the top of the chair. Dropping those shoulders every time. And relax. Well done. Fabulous. I'm definitely warmed up. Definitely feeling warm. I'm just reading my notes. Grab yourself a quick drink. Excellent. I'm going to get rid of my chair. So we'll take ourselves with a band or a belt, so you can use a scarf. And you'll need a scarf for later as well. This might work later when we get down onto the floor. So you need to put something dark over your eyes for the last little section, couple of breaths at the end. So, posture with the shoulders. Let's do our shoulder mobility. Take your arms up. You can do this with thin air. So, I've worked with many mums, many human bodies, not just mums. And this exercise is possibly the #1 exercise for shoulder mobility, depending on the type of shoulder mobility you already have. So we're working towards it. Take this arm, both arms wide, and then just kind of rotate your shoulder over, back and down. And just see what feels good. So this should be pain-free. Feel that you've still got your shoulders drop down into their sockets, and then take your arm where it wants to go. I'm going to do one more this side. So why am I doing all these exercises with you so mindfully? Well, because of the aims of the sessions that I have an intention with. So setting out this programme when I started with the Babi Active was to give you, reading my notes here, to help mums feel fitter, stronger after the birth of their baby. That was one of the aims. Let's try the other side. And to give mums confidence to move. So to give you confidence to move again after the birth of your baby. And whether you're a beginner, complete beginner to fitness, or whether you were doing insanity training before, just to give you the confidence to move again, so that when you do go back to any other training, that you've got a bit more intelligence in terms of the way your body moves. So that intuition within your body to give you exactly what you need. I'm going to do both hands now, so if you feel like you've done enough, just ease out your shoulders. I'm just going to do 2 or 3. So you're taking your arms all the way up, and you can do this with thin air. So I'll do 2 with the band. This is a judo belt, any length of material will do. And then I'm just going to do one with thin air. So that will be a good target for you to do, thin air. So thin air shoulder roll and thin air. That would be a good target for you to do every day if you can. Should be pain free, and it will get easier and easier. And you only need to do 3, 4. Just start with what feels really comfortable. That's all you need to do, and just to repeat that daily, and you'll improve wonderfully your shoulder mobility, which of course supports the hips. Believe it or not, the hips relate to the shoulders. Let's move on. So I've done some lovely shoulder movements. Coming up to 11 o'clock on my watch. So I'm just going to take myself up and over here. I'm going to ask you to mind your chandelier like me, so I'm going to come forward for you, and then I'm going to put my hands across my midline, back into that tummy, ladies. Just gently leaning to the side, both feet on the floor. And imagining I'm between 2 panes of glass there. Really opening up through the side of the body, the obliques having to work quite hard. So I want to leave you feeling stretched, gently energised and relaxed. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to check in with the Pilates breath. So regardless as to whether you've had practice with Pilates breathing, we're just engaging the breath consciously. So don't worry about whether or not all of the movements synchronise to your breath. Just enjoy the movement. Just place your hands on your rib cage and just take a big deep breath in. And let your shoulders drop down. Do one more and focus on really opening up the rib cage. Make your ribs flare out. Drop those shoulders. Let's do another one. Excellent. Try and keep that feeling and that awareness. Side of the body expanding, also the back of the body expanding into the ribs. And then try and keep your tummy away from your hands as you breathe in, so you're not expanding through the belly at the front. And as you breathe out, Imagine you're blowing a candle out quite slowly, just through open lips. Drop your shoulders. Let's do 2. One more. Fabulous. I feel much calmer when I do those breaths, and I do them really, really slowly. So for you, when you breathe out, as the muscles contract towards the spine, the abdominal muscles bring your tummy towards you, and the muscles underneath the rectus abdominis, the transverse abdominals, they work very deeply, and they're the ones that are much more deconditioned after the birth of your baby. So that's a really good exercise to just restore those muscles, just in that exercise in itself, just inhaling and stopping the tummy, doing a belly breath, which is what we do in yoga or in relaxation. So it's the opposite of that in that sense. So what I'm going to get you to do is your side bends again, okay, and then just do 3 and use the breath there. If it feels too much on the neck and shoulders as you take your hands over today, you can just side bend. Okay, and for those who want to work a little bit harder, you can have a dumbbell with you and you can just do the side bend with a weighted object or a heavy book. Okay, so I'll just do 3 each side, so just allowing you to press, pause and repeat this on revision, and just introducing you to that movement. Lateral flexion, drop the shoulders. I'm going to take my arm up. Okay, let's breathe in, breathe out. And again, long through the spine, trying to keep the muscles back towards the spine here, resisting any bulging, giving you that strength again in your midsection. Other side, breathing in, breathing out, feet both on the ground there, pressing into the earth. Relax those feet. Fabulous, excellent work. I'm going to do the Pilates roll down next. You can come down onto the mat if you want to, in a way that's suitable for you. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is think about reaching up. I'm going to do this 5 times. This is a lovely opportunity for you to really slow down. If you just want to flop onto the floor right now, lie down on your back for me. Maybe just give your knees a little bit of a hug and see how that's feeling. And if you know some versions of abdominal work that you have been using in other classes which are postnatal specific, particularly just extending and lifting the leg without lifting your head up off the floor, go for those exercises. Or do the bridge if you know the bridge. Here we go. So breathing in. Shoulders out here, feet flat on the floor, begin to bend the knee. Let your body breathe. Let your hands relax. And just follow your breath. Think about uncurling like a beautiful fern leaf. So imagine the curling inwards, the spiralling inwards, the spine is rolling here. Relax your buttocks, bend your knees. Look for where you feel release. Once you feel release here, let go. The arms are like spaghetti and roll up. So uncurling. Great intention here as you move. If you're feeling a little bit dizzy here, please stop. Make your way down to the floor. So present your chest here, long through the spine, chin to chest, bend the knees. Yummy movements. This is a daily movement practice. Notice the tummy muscles need support here, so draw the navel towards the spine. Notice your arms becoming heavy here. Neck is long and loose. So this is my number 3, and I'm really beginning to feel tension shift up from my lower back, my lumbar spine, and up into my mid back. This is number 4, lengthen the neck here, drop the shoulders, chin to chest, all with a sense of ease. There's no fighting, no forcing in this move. It's very surrendered. Relax the buttocks, relax the pelvic floor,
tummy muscles are there supporting the back. Notice if you've managed to get a little bit further with less effort. Taking that breath with you. Breathing, oxygen, cleansing, and giving you that movement, that flow. Should we go down to the floor this time? If you're not already there, I'm going to bend my knees and then crawl forwards. Bending the knees generously, find your way down to the floor and just sit back, have a little break here. If you've got a cushion handy or a teddy, if you've got a teddy, rest your head on the teddy. Open the legs. Let your pelvic floor go here, breathe into your belly, let your belly go. This is a opposite to Pilates breath. You'll feel that your belly can just be full and soft, like when you watch your baby and their tummies rise and fall. Soften into the belly. Shoulders resting. 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then taking yourself up slowly, hands by the side of the head, gently push up, come up as slow as you can. Excellent, and then we'll lie down onto our backs. So lying down onto your backs, remember if you just had a baby, you're repeating the same way you were pregnant as you come down onto the mat. So you're lying down on the side, you're not flexing up, and to bring yourself onto your back. So here, I'm just going to get you, mind your water. I think you can still see me. Yeah, you can. So just feel the leg. Right leg extended out, long through the neck, separate your shoulder blades here. Point this knee to the ceiling. Lift and lower this leg with some control. And if you're feeling like these movements feel familiar, let's use the arm. And see if you can lower that with control. Now my leg is coming up as high as it naturally feels comfortable for you. You can put your hands as a complete beginner, or in your first, maybe this is week 7 after having a baby, just bring your hands onto your tummy and just notice if your muscles are pushing through this line here, the lovely line that we had when we were pregnant, squiggly line across the baby there. So imagine that line there, and imagine, you can just feel it there. See if there's any movement there along that midline as you lift and lower. And just watch the breath. Inhaling and then exhaling. Inhaling down. Try it. If the breath doesn't get coordinated, just remember where the effort is of the movement. Where do you feel you're having to work hard? Where does this feel really easy? I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to bring myself into a little mini bridge here. So bring your feet a little bit closer to the bottom. Just take them to where they feel comfortable for you today. And then just do pelvic tilting. Again, releasing some tension here. The pelvis has had a huge amount of responsibility. Every day it has responsibility. It carries the weight through our spine. Any load that we lift translates through the spine, divides into 2 down into the legs, the knees, the ankles. So thinking about all that the pelvis has been through during the labour, during the evolution of your pregnancy. We're going to come up, we're going to flick back the imaginary towel to the earth, flick it back through the leg. So this is anterior pelvic tilting here. No, that's posterior tilting, sorry. Lifting up. And then just stay where you think you can stay for a couple of breaths. So maybe put your fist under your buttocks and just rest your buttocks onto your fist. And just let your pelvis relax. So now you're not using any effort. And then from that position, lift up. Take a breath and then lift. So lift up. Notice the muscles engaging. Notice your hips. Maybe they're wobbling. Maybe your knees are moving. And then come down. Roll down. Imagine the top of the vertebra here is coming down to meet the mat. And you're lowering with control, so instead of flopping down. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm just going to place my hands underneath my buttocks, lengthen my neck, flatten my feet, inhale, and then lift. Just to where I feel comfortable, feeling the body, working the pelvic floor is doing something. Noticing if there's any bulging here. And as we come down, practicing that control. The hardest part of the movement in terms of control is this coming down. Relax that pelvic floor. So feel that the tailbone comes down lastly. Fabulous. So some really lovely deep work there into your back, of course. This is the other leg. So I'm just checking my leg there and I'm lifting it up. I'm going to adjust this foot. So just take the time, adjust yourself whenever you want. Be confident with your movements. If you're midway through a set or a minute on another session and you feel like you're not quite in the right position, just move to make it better for yourself. Stop and then start again. And just be okay with that. It's a little bit like reverse parking. Sometimes I have to reverse park 13 times before I get it right. Just get back up again and come back in when we're ready. Taking our focus on our movements, using that attention, noticing and allowing. So if you're thinking about the breath now, let's do 2 more. Notice where you need to breathe. Notice any bulging along that midline. Lots of control here. Excellent, let's place that foot down and then do a little bit of a swish swish. So fabulous, we are on time. A little bit of swish swish here, play with the feet, take them wider. And then we'll do that knee hug, so just take one knee on the chest. See if you can keep your neck really long and lift that leg up. Grab behind the knee, a little squeeze. Rotation. Almost at the end of the session, so take that foot down. Take what you need from the time on the mat. Make this me time special by just giving yourself your full attention as much as we can. And I know that's challenging as a mum. But as much as we can, attending to what we need, attending to our breath, attending to our bodies. So I'm going to grab a drink and then I'm going to ask you to either lie back down onto the floor or sit on a cushion. And we'll do a little bit of breathing practice to finish. If you're lying down on the floor for this next section, you can bring a scarf with you to place over your eyes. So any scarf will do. You can even place a sock over your eyes. So as you roll over onto your side, put the scarf onto your eyes. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, because if you're not sure what I mean, you might not know what I mean. So rolling down and then just lying here. So just for a couple of minutes. So here, just like that. You can bring your knees together. Usually the bed legs is more comfortable as a position.
But if your back feels quite strong, lower your legs down to the floor. I'm going to ask you to put your hands onto your tummy, but if you feel better with your hands by your sides, that is just fine. I'm going to prop myself up on a cushion, so if you're choosing to sit with me cross-legged, you won't really need a scarf. You can just close your eyes if you want to. So bring yourself sitting onto a cushion in a way that's really comfortable for you. We're at the end of the session. We've worked a lot of focus and a lot of attention to our bodies. We're almost at the end. Almost at the end of the session. I have enjoyed teaching you this morning, and I'm so glad that you are able to watch this with our phenomenal technology. Who would have imagined that we would be experiencing new ways of learning and new ways of using media? Welcome to the 2020s. We're all getting used to that now, getting used to seeing ourselves in media and using media. So thank you for joining me as I learn to serve you better online. So let's just do a little bit of a breathing practice here. So we'll do one that you've probably seen before that's really, really, really easy. So if you're lying down on your back, you can rest your muscles in your face completely, rest your shoulders, shuffle and fidget to find that sense of where you feel really, really comfortable. And the same if you're sitting with me, you just give yourself a little bit of movement. And just ease out anywhere that feels like it really does need something else. So you can soften here, we're letting go, we've let go of our posture, and we're just becoming aware of how our body is when it's resting. I'm not completely slumped, but I'm aware that I have a long spine. I'm supported by the earth. My shoulders are resting on the earth. Or my spine is long as I sit. And just take a couple of breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth with a sound. And the sound, you can choose an sound, or you can choose an sound. If baby's sleeping, you might do the quiet version. So we'll do 3. You can even do this very, very quietly. Taking a breath in, breathing in through the nose. Just trying to elongate the out breath, breathing in. I'm going to do an R breath on the last one. I'm taking a full breath in through my nose, filling my belly. Sometimes we're not used to hearing our own breath, and it can make you feel a little bit embarrassed sometimes. Feels a bit odd. Children find it hilarious. Resting in your space where you are, spread your shoulders, relax your buttocks, relax your tummy, relax the muscles in your face, rest your gaze. So let your eyes, like curtains behind them, come down. Gaze to the floor, or close your eyes if you're seated. We're going to take a breath in for 4 counts this time. We're going to try and stretch the exhalation a little bit longer. So we're going to go for 7, 6 or 7, and we're going to do that 3 times. You can choose the sound of your exhalation. Ready when you are, begin to breathe in, counting in. 4 counts, then 7 out. 4, 6 if it feels natural. 2 more times, breathing fully in for 4. And out. 4, full breath in when you're ready. And then bring yourself back to a regular breathing pattern. Just let the breathing become natural, your natural breath again. And just take notice of whether or not you feel any different from the beginning of the session today. Notice if you're finding it difficult to stay still, or if you're finding this a moment of goodness. Noticing the breathing, the natural breathing, just as we observe our babies as they breathe. Their tummies rising and falling, just take time to notice yours. There's something you can do for yourself right now to make this position that you've chosen and that you've declared your choice of rest for the next couple of minutes. Just take any movements and adjustments. We'll just use a little mantra of relaxation to finish off. Just beginning to focus inwards. Adjust yourself again if you need to. And we'll observe the breath for the last few minutes of today's session. So as you're breathing in, you can apply a mantra. You can apply some words. So you might choose to say, I breathe in, I breathe out. Or you might choose to say, I can, as you breathe in, relax. Or you may have some other words which come to you instinctively from other practices or on your awareness. We do that 5 times with a regular breathing rhythm. It's just taking note, commit to your words, and begin your mantra, breathing in. Counting the cycles of your breath. Not trying to make your breath any longer or shorter. And if you lose count, I'll bring you back in. Bring your arms to your abdomen if they're not already. Place your hands on your body. If you're on the floor, roll over onto your side. Begin to roll onto your side. If you're sitting up, just take a moment to maybe flutter your eyes open if they're not already. Lift your heart space. Those who've been lying on the floor, join us in cross-legged if you can for a moment. Or just take your legs out in front of you if that's more comfortable. Bend your knees. Join me seated, lengthen the spine. Place your hands by the side of your body, lift your chest, draw up your shoulders. And then just take one hand and place it in front of you. And lift that chest, turn to the side, turn your neck if it feels good. And then bring that hand back, tent peg your fingers so you're feeling that you're on your fingertips. Lift the chest, sink your shoulders. Place the opposite hand in between your legs. Turn the neck if it feels good. Notice where it feels good right now. Back to the centre, scoop your legs up in front of you, and just, if you can't quite get to your feet, maybe just bring your bottom towards your feet and just lift the chest. If that feels a little bit uncomfortable, begin to cross your legs again. Finishing off with a little bit of movement. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do have some nourishment today. If it's been a couple of days since you've had something really nutritional, of high nutritional value to you, then make today the day when you really make the effort to put something on in the kitchen that you love. Rubbing the feet, waking the feet up. Maybe a bit of gratitude to the feet for all they do, individually rubbing the toes so you can reach them, giving them a little bit of a rub. Brings us to the end of today's session. Always happy to answer questions, always happy to respond by private message. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back on Friday morning, 10:30. It's the advanced postnatal session, 6 months plus. Thank you so much for watching. I will save this video now and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye.